Let's get on it. We're on it. We're on it. Is there a car accessory company called On It? I feel like there is.
Somebody somewhere has done that.
On It. On It Speed Shop. On It. Well, it might.
On it is a bad level in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yes. It sounds like a bad game in Super Mario Party. Or is that what the new Mario Party is called? The bad one? Oh, you just called the bad one.
They're all the bad one. That's a trick question.
You don't like Mario Party?
I didn't.
Well,
Mario Party.
I've
I
never heard
didn't say I
anybody say
didn't
they're
like
all
it.
bad.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I did say that they are bad. They are bad video games. Much in the same way that Monopoly is a bad game. I will play Monopoly, but Monopoly is a bad game.
I love Monopoly. I think it's
Oh,
awesome.
it's awful.
I don't know anything about games. I don't know anything about like game design or like what makes a good game or what makes a bad game.
Well, I mean, when you want to get to board game talk, I can explain why Monopoly is an awful game.
We could maybe get there. Not right now. This when we start our board game spin-off podcast.
Yeah,
What do we call it? A roll of the nice.
a roll of the nice guys.
Roll of the nice guys finish last.
Welcome to room temperature. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's room temperature. I'm
Yeah.
Brandon.
I'm James, aka the Jampers,
This is our
aka Liberal Cuck 42069.
this is our cold open that we're doing now, I guess.
We don't fucking need an open. We don't need a theme song. We don't need any of that bullshit. Although it'd be cool if we had a song. We should commission somebody we know to write us a song.
Do we know any artists?
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me?
That
You
was
mean
the joke.
musical
That
artists?
was the joke. That was the joke.
I could call like. Did you ever meet? I don't think you ever met my friend Lindsay.
No.
You remember Megan? You went to her house on New Year's.
Yes, I know.
He lived in the garage.
Of course he did.
He owned that ice cream shop, Ray's Ice Cream Shop in San Marcos, Texas. If you're in the
Oh.
San Marcos area, go to Ray's Ice Cream Shop.
All right on.
He's a musician in a band called Those Nights, and the Refrains. I think the Refrains is the one that does a lot better. I don't remember. One of them's better than the other. But like, I could call him and be like, "Hey, just fart out a song. The show's called Room Temperature. If you want some money, I'll give you $30." We should commission a song on like Fiverr or something.
I'd be into that. The capitalist gig economy nightmare that we live in.
Yeah. Like that would be cool. I mean, that my friend Nathan plays the marimba. I think it'd be cool to have like a marimba theme song. I'll text him after this and see if he wants to. I'm still working on the website as a side project. It is going to be my 4th case study on my UX design portfolio.
Very good. I'm glad that I could help you get a job.
Oh, finally. You do work at large tech company, and yet I still haven't got an interview at large tech company.
Well, that's because there's a hiring freeze, and they just laid off a bunch of people, including a bunch of people on my team. So
Look, man, the only freeze I care about is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Wii. Let's get some at GameStop, where your dollar goes further at GameStop. GameStop, email me at roomtemp@gmail.com, and we can hash this.
do you own that yet?
Roomtemp@gmail.com is the thing, yeah. That's our email address. If anybody out there is listening and they have anything to send us, roomtemp@gmail.com. Roomtemp@gmail.com. Send us your questions. Send us whatever. I mean, just know that if you send us something and we don't like it, we're going to talk about it. This is episode 2, and no one knows who we are.
Yeah. When we look back at this in 30 years and we're the #1 podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and podcasting services yet to be invented, we'll think of how funny this was.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, either that or we're going to be the most well-known automotive podcast in history.
Right.
Which it's important to mention that we have joined the podcast sphere just as everyone is turning against podcasters. Like, it's just such a meme to have a podcast in 2020. Because everybody has one because they're all just staying. I guess. I mean, like everybody's staying at home, and it's like, oh, start a podcast. I have a good idea for a podcast. It's about toxic masculinity. It's about being a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. It's about we're just gonna stream our Dungeons and Dragons games because someday we might make some money. I don't.
Subtweet.
I just think I've always wanted to do this, and like there's literally no excuse. That's sad to say. I've always wanted to do this. but like there's no excuse not to do it when I mean this has been so fucking easy. Like we hop on a Zoom meeting, I press record, and then tomorrow I will export the file with iMovie onto my YouTube account, and then that's it. That's it. It takes like 4 hours, and that's
Don't tell
only
the don't tell them how easy it is. People will get ideas and try and copy us.
oh, there's nothing to copy. There's no format. We're actually copying Cumtown, if anything, because if you go and look at the post-pandemic Cumtown uh, podcast on YouTube, it is just recorded Zoom meetings. They don't have an intro. They don't like. Oh my god, there's this podcast out there that is like the equivalent of the like. Here we go, get talking shit about other more well-established podcasts.
That's how you know we're a real podcast.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you know. But it's called, I can't remember who are these podcasts or something like that is the name of the podcast, and it is like the Chad Virgin meme, but in real life. It is unfucking believable. They like will just like take a podcast with like a huge following, and they'll just be like, this sucks. Why is this guy, why there's no theme song, why is there, they don't even use a soundboard, and it's fucking like, who fucking uses a soundboard on a podcast? And they have like a very like one of those like radio show podcasts where it's
Yeah,
just a radio show.
I was about to say Drive Time Radio uses soundboards.
I don't
Speaking of Drive Time Radio, I bought a car from Drive Time and then didn't do that. Um, I was trying to segue into I was at the track yesterday and it was a lot of fun.
oh yes, this
I
is
had a
where
drive time.
you drove through time.
Don't we all, man?
Yeah, tell us about track
Um,
night in America, Brandon. That's actually
so,
what we really wanted to hear.
so track night in America is this really cool event that is put on by basically every sponsor for cars that you've half heard of. And the cool thing about track night in America is that it's super cheap. It was 140 bucks all in to go get like an hour total lap time at Harris Hill, and it was great. And and so usually when I do a track night in America, I take my S2000, which you can see behind me there.
There it
But
is.
there it is, haha. But this time I decided to take the Civic because I own a Civic Type R, and the most intense thing I've ever done with it is go pick up groceries from HEB. So I felt like it was time to finally drive the car on track and use my track car. And I was having a great time. The first two sessions were awesome. I was getting out there. I was getting past a lot, but I was like, you know what, this is fine. It's my first time in a front-wheel drive car. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not super good at this anyway. And then Yusuf got out there in his 8th gen Civic Si with like a 500,000 miles on it. And not literally, but almost. And he was just ruining me, just absolutely showing me who's boss. And I said, this is unacceptable. And so I started trying to catch him. And we do about 3 or 4 laps of that. And I'm way in the zone. I'm having a great time. I'm keeping up with him. And I look down, and my temperature gauge is about 80 or 90% full. And I say, oh no. So I immediately like ease up very noticeably, pull into the pits, don't like park or anything, but just like pull off track, and the temperature gauge immediately goes down to about 60%. Still higher than normal, but definitely it normally sits about 40%. So I was like, okay, I'll turn on the heater. This will be okay. We'll be fine. So it's 90 degrees outside. I start blasting the heater. I get back out on track. I start working it, and it just immediately cranks back up to like 80%. And I say, fuck this. I'm not driving around in the heat with the heater on full with my car at 80%. So I don't even get through a whole lap again, and I pull back in, I just park it, and then I go home and I call you, but of course you were doing your business, and so you didn't pick up the phone. I left you that voicemail, and
It's a
and
quality
yeah,
voicemail.
thank you. And yeah, it was just really weird to experience the meme of the Civic overheats because I was totally the guy in the regular car review going, well, you just
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
go.
totally bring that up about because like the only I've heard of Civic CTRs overheating, but only from that regular car meme.
It's a thing in the forums, but lots of people say. I even asked Yusuf about it. I was like, because he used to have a Civic Type R, a real one, and not just like one, not like a Civic Si with a body kit. Um, and he said, yeah, it was never really a big deal except when I was in Colorado when you're like 6,000 feet above sea level, and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then afterwards, I talked to him. He's like, oh yeah, I would have to do like 2 or 3 cool down laps every 5 laps,
The fuck?
and I was like, that is not what you just said, dude. That is
So he's
not
probably
what
like,
you
well, it
just said.
wasn't an issue because I did those cool down laps, so I
Yeah,
invented it.
literally true, but also like that's an entirely different. Yeah,
So I mean,
so
I don't know. I'm not a Honda fanboy like you, but is that a common occurrence when people do higher performance driving in Civic Type R's, especially?
evidently yes. And it is serious enough where one of the changes that Honda didn't make a big deal about to the 2020 model is they completely changed the front end of the car. Uh,
Ah, so it's like it's
the
aerodynamic issue or
No,
air
it's
into
so that
art.
it's yeah. So they opened up the grill.
Mm.
If you look, you can't see it in the picture I'm showing, but the front. You know how the Civics have those like black line where the Honda badge is attached?
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, you know what the front end of CTR looks like. So I
Yeah,
promise.
yeah. So the my car has the black line, and then there's like two tiny little holes above the black line where the badge is. On the 2020, they made those holes significantly larger, and they changed it so much that an emblem from a 2017 to 2019 actually doesn't fit the front of a 2020 because they made the emblem smaller so they could make those holes bigger. They made the entire like black bar thing smaller so they could make the lower grill bigger and the upper grill bigger.
Okay.
Um,
I mean that must be the issue, right? They're just not getting enough air into the car to
Yeah,
keep it cool.
it's that, and apparently the radiator is not up to the task. You can, so the three things that people have said, if you're going to do like serious like track time, the three things people recommend are a different radiator, and apparently just getting a fatter one doesn't help because you have to get one that are specifically thicker but with less dense fins because if you just get a super dense fin, you're not going to get enough airflow through it to cool it effectively. Um,
So
and
just
then
bigger but not as fat.
you want fatter but less dense so that
Okay.
like it goes deeper in the car but the like waves aren't super tight because you need a lot of air flowing through it.
That sounds
Um,
very expensive.
yes,
That
you
sounds
so
like if they put it on the CTR, your car would cost 50 grand.
I mean they do, but yes. Uh, so yeah, that is so they have they Honda sells a um, a turnkey Civic Type R race car, and apparently they don't really do a lot to the car itself, except there is a lot of stuff done to cooling, just because what comes from the factory is not enough for sustained track time. It's fine for autocross. It's fine for longer tracks where you have a long straight where the car can cool down, but it just doesn't work in places where you're speeding up and slowing down, speeding up and slowing down, like Harris Hill.
Racing
Yeah,
tracks, like a
yeah,
real track. Well, here's the thing, and like this is just like for everybody to remember when it comes to these kinds of like the Civic Type R is awesome. It's probably the most fun hatchback on the market in that price bracket right now. But it's also a Civic, just like a WRX STI is also an Impreza, and like a GTI is just a Golf. I mean, they're based on economy cars.
yeah.
They were never engineered for track duty. They're kind of like the modern equivalent of muscle cars. I mean, they're just
Well, I
beefed up.
mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
yes and no. Like once you fix the cooling, the car is set for forever. The rest of it is stout enough to handle it. It's
the
just
cooling and the rubber, you got to replace the stock rubber.
I did this event on stock rubber.
Oh, that's right. But you went back to stock rubber. You had already changed it to. different wheels. I mean, because they
Yes.
were shitty out of the box. These
Well,
kind
they're
of
not.
cars are like tuner cars. They're great. They're good out of the box, but they're meant to be. They have potential to be better. Is my point.
Th this car, so the Civic Type R, you can buy one and drive it to an autocross event and have a serious, decent shot at winning the event. Um, they are they excel at autocross. You make no compromises. You have no worry at autocross because it's just too short where you're going to encounter the overheating problem. And they are the car to have in D Street. You know, if you want to compete in D Street at any level, you need a Type R. Nothing else will do.
Well, it's a I mean that goes back to like I'm been getting really into BTA. Is it British touring car BTCC?
Yeah,
Like they're just all over that fucking shit because like that modern day BTCC is like I hope that's British Touring Car Championship. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Bitcoin coin. Yeah,
Bitcoin coin. Um, it's all Civic Type R's now. It used to be like saloon cars back in the day, like 3 Series, but those cars are just ballooned to enormous proportions. So it's all like Golfs, Civics, Mini Coopers, but it's mostly Civics. So I mean, yeah, they're definitely engineered to the platform, the chassis. It's like Volkswagen. I'm more of a Volkswagen guy. They have the MQB platform that is in Audi, and it's even making its way into Lamborghini now, and Bentley. You can take like a stock MQB car, beef it up, and make it a race car. But I have a hunch, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you had a stock S2000 that would be similar to yours, would it have any issues on any track, like overheating or anything like that?
no.
Because
Well,
that car's engineered to be a racing sports car.
no. Well, I mean, it's also because it's naturally aspirated.
Ah, well, true. Turbos have like heat sink issues,
Yeah,
heat
it's
soak issues.
the I mean the so the other where I was going originally a few minutes ago is the three things you need are you need something for cooling, so fatter radiator or something like that. You you probably want a vented hood so hot air can escape up because the other thing is that uh, since it has a huge underbelly pan for aerodynamics, hot air can't really go down. There's no place for it to go up, so it just kind of sits in the car. Um, so you definitely want a vented hood, and then a turbo blanket apparently helps a lot by keeping the hot air inside the turbo. But the downside of that, of course, is that you're then keeping all the hot air in your turbo, and um, it the oil in the turbo can get hotter. So you then have to worry about your oil temps. Apparently, it's not a huge deal, but I don't know.
I think. I mean, the turbo blanket thing sounds realistic, and I've never been on a track, so all I'm really doing is like misquoting Savage Geese. But I if that hood thing that sounds real.
Yeah,
Does Spoon make like a eighth generation CTR hood?
I'm. I mean, Spoon makes a lot of like. Um,
Don't they just make like legacy stuff? I think they just make stuff for older Hondas.
no, they make stuff for new Hondas, but they make cool stuff. They make cool stuff for only old Hondas. New like the dirty secret is Mugen and Spoon and all those tuners you've heard of. They just make bling now.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't. I
like
mean, I've only heard of them. I've never owned a Honda, and I've never tuned
sure,
one.
yeah. So like back in the day, like 90 Civics and stuff, Mugen and Spoon parts were like the thing to get. And like my S2000, um, the Spoon body kit, I think, is probably the coolest looking body kit
Mm-hmm.
you can get for an S2000. It
Mm-hmm.
gives it this like wicked grin that looks hilarious. Um, you should Google a picture of it and put that up while I'm talking about it.
Let's do it. Let's share the screen.
But yeah, now their catalog is just like, do you want a side skirt for your HRV? Which, I'm glad that they're fulfilling a niche, and I'm glad that they're letting you buy body kits for your HRV, but also who cares?
I love the HRV. If I was gonna buy like a tiny urban like this thing,
Yeah.
okay, I do like that more than I thought I was going. That's the hard top. I do
This
like
is the
that.
best looking hardtop for the S2000. It's also the most heinously impractical.
It's $4 grand.
Well, they're all super expensive. But the cool thing about the spoon hardtop is it turns the S2000 into a fastback.
because you need that.
Yeah. So that's the spoon bumper and the spoon hardtop.
I do like this shit. I mean, I was always a Rocket Bunny kid, but I never got into like tuning because I never had the. I've never owned a Japanese car. I've never owned anything that you can tune.
That's just a screenshot from Gran Turismo.
That's fun. Um. Oh, I like that. I like the NSX there, baby. I love NSXs. They're so cool.
They are super cool.
I think the NSX may be my favorite supercar because today I went on another backcountry drive in Oklahoma because my parents were like, why don't you just go for a drive? We're just going to take a nap, blah, blah. I live with my parents at 31. It sucks.
You know they had
Um,
sex, right?
I think that would literally kill my father. I don't want to write that. I think you get to a point where it's just like, we're not going to ever have sex again. Anyway,
I hope not.
I hope not either. I hope that I'm always on drugs. So I went on a country drive. I went the long one. I need a new route because like I'm bored of this one. But I went the long backcountry route today, and I like just remembered how. And I have a fucking econo box. I don't have a fucking cool car right now at all. I don't have access to a cool car at all. But I just remembered how much I like doing slow car fast more than I like fast car fast.
Yeah.
Like the only fast car fast I like is in something with a big V8. Anything with more than like 400 horsepower is just so pointless on a public road. It's like fun, but it's just like, damn it, you never get to have as much fun. You never get to like feel that limit. And like calling like 180, 146 horsepower a limit is very stupid because that's how much my golf has. But like, it's still fun to ring that thing out, even with it.
Yeah.
I just wish it was a little bit faster. And I don't want to do anything. I'm tempted. I've gone on and seen people who like make like mods to their 1.4 and 1.8 golfs because they couldn't afford a GTI. And I'm just like, I can't fucking like. You can flash the ECU, you can put the bigger intake on it, and like, pretend you're like. It's the same thing like we talked about last time, with like modifying a Camry. It's like, don't do it. That
Yeah.
car also returned. I like threw it around and it returned 41 miles per gallon. So it's
It's
like,
really good.
I mean, it saves me money at the pump.
My lifetime so I've never reset the trip A on my Civic,
Wow.
and my lifetime uh, gas mileage went down from 24.7 to 24.1 just from the track day. I went
I mean,
I got like my car told me I got like 5 miles per gallon all day.
well,
I
that's okay though. I mean, like
I I rolled up at Harris Hill with there's like I want to say like 20 bars on my gas gauge. I rolled up with one of them missing, and I left the track with 2 bars and the gas light on.
that's
I
oh yeah,
used
you use a whole tank in a day.
I
Oh my
used an
god.
entire tank of gas at on just the track day. Like not getting to the track, I used an entire tank of gas just the track day.
So you filled up your tank when you got in town.
I filled up my tank before when I left. I filled up my tank the night before in Austin. I drove to San Marcos, and then I drove to Harris Hill.
But it's only like 20 miles, so it doesn't even count.
Yeah, like I said, I was missing like 1 bar, so I was probably missing like maybe about a gallon, and I put 11 gallons in when I left Harris Hill.
Jesus Christ. Well, you get like, I mean, your you get like 365 horsepower in that car.
306.
306. That's a lot for a Civic. I mean, like that. It's a fast car. It's gonna burn fuel, especially when you drive it to the point of heat exhaustion. So, it's an expensive hobby. But imagine doing that in a big, like, if you did that in like a just a Mustang.
Yeah,
It's my frame of reference. I mean, you would have done 2 tanks of gas. You would have had to stop halfway through Track Night in America and gone to get gas.
I a friend, this guy I autocross with, ran out of gas on track, and he got to buy gas from Harris Hill at $10 a gallon to get off track.
We bought like 1 gallon then.
Hmm They sell you because you're right there, and if they have to send the truck with a gas can out to get you, they give you 1 gallon. And say that'll be $10, please.
What a fucking racket! I want to do that. I want to own a racetrack. Oh my god.
Did I show you my dash cam footage from it?
No, upload it. We'll put it on the YouTube channel if you want.
Uh, let me find the good one, and then I will link you, the all of it. I don't want to sit here and watch all of it, but this is me following Yusuf, and this is when it was actually cool. Like, this
Now
is a good video.
let me armchair critique this.
Yeah, definitely. I want you, James Ross, to tell me what I'm doing wrong. What is the best way to send this to you? Zoom chat?
I
Text?
guess. No, not text. Well, you can do. No, don't do text. Do Zoom chat because I don't want people to see my text messages. Did you not upload it? Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that one's on YouTube, and then let me send you all of the footage I took that day. So this is the best clip, and then I'll give you a Google Photos link to all of it. But like I said, a lot of these are kind of bad.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I had dash cam footage today from my trip to Meth City.
I love Meth City.
Meth City's pretty good.
I sent it to you on Google Photos.
What?
Photos.google.com.
Oh, it's because you haven't. Which face is yours? Two of these are my ex-girlfriend. That's awful.
There should be a sharing button.
You're missing out. Get personalized feature. Keep off. One home for all your photos. Continue. I've never set up this sharing. Okay. There's a picture of your bathtub.
Oh, yeah. I sent you all the pictures I took that day, which included a picture of my bathtub that I sent to Nicole. Don't mind that one.
All right. I see all the videos. All of them are 4 minutes and 59 seconds.
Weird.
All right, let me.
The YouTube video is a good one.
All right, let's watch the YouTube video, then we'll get to these. Ooh, look, you cooked something. What'd you make? Ooh. Greasy. You guys went to some sort of creek event. I think you shared with me a lot of photos. You shared with me July 29th as well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Boy, I sure miss going outside and having a bunch of fun. Let us share this screen and watch your tube. YouTube is short for you only get one tube.
Look, it's my bathtub.
Look at your bathtub. All right.
So this is me chasing Yusuf, and it's important to note here that my polarizing filter is off center, and that's why it looks weird.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
So you see how, like, on the left side of the screen?
Oh, you've got like one of those like things that go over your lenses.
Yeah, and it's off center.
That's Yusuf in front of you?
Yeah.
Shout out to Yusuf.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. What more can you say? Oh, except he kicked your ass. That's right.
He's a much better driver than I am.
That's okay. I'm probably the worst driver in the group. It's that guy. Who's that guy in the Honda Accord that was like Euro swapped?
Oh, that's some random guy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know how Victor meets these people.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He was pretty bad.
Yeah. There's a couple people in the group that I really dislike that we won't name names here.
It's true. But if Pitts ever watches this episode, he's gonna be like, "Who don't you like?" I'm like, I'll tell him.
I think Victor has a pretty good idea of who I don't like.
Yeah, and I'll give a big kiss. I've been reading the Discord. I get it. Like that one man thing with the
Yep. I know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna reveal what it is, but let's just say he's got a crooked penis.
Yeah.
He's the guy with a crooked penis. Not in
a good way. Not in like a pleasing way.
It swings to the right, if you know what I'm saying. Whose Miata is that?
That's some rando's Miata.
He's waving at you. He's like, "Great job."
That's what it
Pass
means.
me. I get it.
It means you're doing so good. I'm so proud of you.
Remember, it's not a race.
It's not a race, but I am timing this.
It's not a race, but we are timing it. But it's not a race. It is a racist country, but we're not
Hmm.
racing. We're not racing.
Look how far
Race
ahead
night
of
in racist country.
me Yusuf is.
That's just driving skill though.
Yeah, he's a lot better than I am.
I would actually like to see Pitts get on one of these track day events, but like, what's he gonna
Uh,
bring? What's he gonna
there
bring out?
he brought his Miata. He was here.
He was.
Yeah.
How did he do?
He was in the beginner group, so I didn't actually see him, but he posted a video of himself to the Discord.
Well, if he's ever on the pod, we could fucking have him talk about it. I love he knows all this technical shit that I love just like picking his brain about. He's convinced me to buy so many cars that I can't afford. And then we have Charles, who's just like, I should just do whatever you want, like, or get an MR2, boobies.
That sounds a lot like Charles.
Yeah.
Oh, here's where I overheated.
I don't see any steam. That's good.
No, yeah, it's not that dramatic. It's just
When somebody says my car overheated, I picture like a Looney Tunes occurrence of just
no,
like,
yeah. It's I think like, obviously audio is not on, but like I'm telling this guy like, what's going on? Oh, I'm just a little hot. Can I go? And he says, oh, yeah, do whatever you want.
I can hear the audio. You just can't
Oh,
hear it from your end.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's one thing I looked up on Zoom. We're not going to be able to overcome that. That's just like, no matter what you use when you're recording, whoever is recording and whoever's playing, the other person can't hear it.
That's fine.
It's weird. I was like, there's got to be a workaround. I was like, I'm not good with computers, but I bet I can fucking like figure this one out. Basically, I had to have somebody on Reddit tell me, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Hell yeah.
Like, thanks, Reddit.
But yeah,
Thanks, neckbeards.
this is the one lap I get, and like that pull in and just talking to that guy for a second got me down to like 60%. And at some point here, you'll see me like dramatically slow down. That's because my car was getting really hot again, and I was just like, it's way too hot for this. Like, I'm sure you can hear the heater blasting.
Yeah. Boy, the weather sure is pretty.
It was really nice. Like, it was supposed to rain, and then it didn't.
It sounds like San Marcos.
I think it was like right here where I was like, oh my god, it's still so hot. Fuck this.
Damn, dude. Harris Hill, what a great track.
I am. They repaved it this summer, and holy shit, it is so much better. It is so much better. Like, let me see if I can find an older video of me there. It is just night and day. You
Find that
don't.
one where you spun out. We love watching that one. Although that was after they repaved it, wasn't it?
No, that was before they repaved it this summer. That was last fall.
There you are doing something. Focus seats into the Fiesta Part 1.
It's not public.
Oh,
That's Fat Brandon doing a
that's why it's priv.
doing a Focus seat swap. So it turns out that Focuses and Fiestas have the exact same Recaros. They just use different seat brackets.
Did
So
you
you can
this?
see what? I'm
Did
sorry.
I send this to you?
No, what is this?
My dad took Daisy to check the mail.
Look at her. Look how big she is.
She's so big. She's almost 30 pounds.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
the neighbor's baby was out there and she fucking flipped shit.
She likes babies.
She's never seen one before. She fucking like went nuts. She sees this baby over here, right? You watch her. She like, okay, there it is. She sees the baby. Locked on target. She's like, oh my god, I have to fucking eat that baby.
I'm so glad you filmed this in portrait.
I didn't have really a choice. If I turned it over, I'm filming this from a window.
Look at her losing her mind.
Yes, she just first time on the leash too. I uploaded it to YouTube. I sent it to the group. Nobody responded. I was like, okay.
I was doing something.
I sent it at like 11 in the morning. I don't think anybody was. I think everyone was at work and everybody's not like, I'm not gonna be able to like see what unemployed James sent. I haven't taken my sweatpants off today. Okay, that's what level we're on.
I mean, I haven't taken my basketball shorts off today, but
It's Thursday, dude. TGI almost Friday.
oh god,
Yeah, she did very good. Just wore her out. She came inside and took a big nap.
I might have gotten a 3080.
A what?
Unclear. A 3080, the graphics card.
Oh,
That was the big thing today. Did you see that?
no.
There are these new graphics cards that came out, but they sold out within 3 seconds.
Oh, is that the Nvidia thing?
That is the Nvidia thing.
Yeah, my dad was like, I think I'm gonna buy a bunch of Nvidia. He sold his Apple like 2 weeks ago.
That sure is a choice.
Yeah, and he was like, well, it hasn't really gone back up even after the announcement. I am sure loving iOS 14 though. I know you're not an Apple guy, but I really appreciate Apple successfully ripping off Android.
They're pretty good at that.
They're pretty good at that, yeah, and they did a really good job of ripping off Android. Because I was using my brother has the S10,
Mm-hmm.
and I was using that before he went off, and I was like, man, I wish I just had this thing where like you could swipe and just see every app on your phone organized by category, and like now you can. Oh, and emojis. Thank fucking God. The battery meter though, I love this. Like I can see like, oh, it's not gonna work with that green screen. It's
Okay.
not really gonna work. But the battery meter is like really big and juicy now. I really appreciate that. Anyway,
All right.
okay. So what else are we
All
gonna
right.
look at?
All right. Here's a video of what you wanted to see.
You're getting a lot of feedback audio on your end. It sounds like you're
Uh
plugging an amplifier in.
oh.
Is that you? Hold on.
Is it me? Is that
It
me?
is totally you. Yeah. It's like it feels.
Oh.
It's like a sound. You got a hot mic. You got your internal mic on.
Got my hot mic. I'm coming through my headset. I got a fan, maybe. I don't know.
We're gonna eventually have to solve the audio problem in this podcast. I mean, I don't know if you watched the YouTube video, but the audio sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah, it's because we're using these Logitech $20 blah blah blahs. All right, let's go back to. It's not that big a deal. Where's Zoom? Where'd it go?
Okay. I set high suppression, background noise suppression on. Did that help?
So far, yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right, let's check on this YouTube. All right, get back here. Let's share. All right, let's see a tasty video. God damn it. What the fuck? For people's reference, this is me rear-ending Brandon when he was driving his Fiesta and I was driving my Audi A4. See that again. So I want to explain. Okay, like here's what goes on. I'm glad you pulled this up because I'm going to show my parents this. You turn in here, right? Then this
Yeah.
dude like flies out of his driveway, and then he goes across the street because he's like, "Oops!" And then we were driving like idiots. I mean, to be fair, we were driving like dipshits. We were like, "Look how fast you take that corner," and I took it equally quick. Corner, you left turn, really. Take that, like ride for that guy. And that dude in a Subaru flies right out, and then I bonk. That's me, like ramming your butt.
I love you ramming my butt.
I love your sensitive white girl music.
Only the best.
Oh my god. Well, that was a video. That was a good video. I missed that car kind of. I was having a conversation the other day. My dad was like, "Do you miss your Audi?" I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" And he was like, "Why?" And I said, "It was a fucking Audi." Like chicks saw that car and they were just like, "Wow, an Audi." And I'm like, "Joke's on you. I'm broke. Like, I don't have any money." That car was the second biggest financial mistake I ever made when purchasing a vehicle.
What was the first?
The Mustang. Like the 2016 Mustang GT with performance pack was the biggest one because it was a constant investment. the one thing that had over the Audi is the Audi was a lease, which is the only way anybody should ever do a new luxury car. But the Mustang, you didn't have to worry about the miles, but you had to worry about everything else. Couldn't rotate the tires, so at every 16,000 miles, you had to have new tires. Um, Gas every 3 days because my commute was like 30 miles a day, one way, so it's like 60 miles a day. So every 3 days, I'm freaking out of gas. The brakes were expensive. I never had the rotors replaced. There's just the pads because I didn't really have. I had that car until it had like 45,000 miles on it. And then I traded it into the dealership I worked at. And I leased the Audi from them. But the Mustang was, oh, and the insurance was like insane. It was like $850 every 6 months for like full
Jeez.
coverage. I mean, it's a V8 Mustang GT being purchased by. I was 27 when I bought that car. I was like, I mean, yeah, you know, 26 or
My
27. I think it was
my
26.
my Civic is about $700 every 6 months.
Yeah, I mean they're high. When you buy a performance car, if you're under a certain age, I mean it's no joke. You're gonna get fucking like
I have pretty beefy
fucked.
coverage though. I have like 250, 500.
I also have spicy coverage. We talked about this, I think, on one of our prototype episodes. But um,
Anyway, so I sent you two links. The first one is the spinning one you wanted, and the other one is why I will never, ever, ever get behind a Tesla on track ever again.
let's look at the spinning link. Let's see. Let's
It
there's
happens toward the end of the video.
yeah. But while we're waiting for the end of the video, let's enjoy. Like this is also Harris Hill. And let's take a look at the road here. This is pre-repaved. Look how bad that is for a track.
Yeah,
Like
like,
that is awful. That is literally like any road in South Texas.
and like the shaking is not like I'm going fast or whatever. The shaking is because it is actually that bumpy and that shitty.
Yeah, and this isn't an S2000, so I mean I know the suspension setup in the CTR is firm, but it's way firmer in this car.
Ye- I mean, not really. I
Really?
would say that they're probably comparable. It is definitely comparable um, to try and like figure out the difference between when like the difference between the paved and unpaved.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, in all fairness, I have only experienced the S2000 as a passenger. The only S2000 I've ever driven was not your car, and it was
right.
much higher modified, and it scared the shit out of me because I was like 18.
But yeah, I still remember like right there going up the hill. There's a huge bump, and so I would always be at like 90 miles an hour on that bump, and it was scary as hell. Um, right here before turn 7, there was a huge bump, and I could have sworn I caught a little bit of air.
This
But
might be.
yeah, I
This is
think
after.
no, I no, this is it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
this is after. I'm going way too slow for this to be um,
you're clearly
before.
spooked.
Well, I wasn't spooked. You get black flagged if you go off.
Oh, really? So that
Yeah,
just
so
means you have to get on, and then like as soon as you get to the pit, you have to.
you have to pit, and they have to check your car and have to like make sure you didn't lose anything, anything like that. I think uh, here we go. I think this
Here
is
we
it.
go. So beautiful. This was when was this? This was wow. This is a year ago.
Yeah,
Coming up like in 2 days. 2 days from now is the 1 year anniversary of your spin out at Harris Hill.
this is after too because I'm doing 45, and I should be doing like 80 on this straight.
Maybe it's in the middle of the video.
I guess so. I guess it just yeah, it
You're
just
going for it right
happened.
there.
It just happened.
Like right here.
So
So a little bit.
yeah, so go back another like 30, 40 seconds.
Okay,
Okay,
that's right after.
30, 40 seconds.
I'm not looking at the seconds. I'm just looking. I look at the line. All right, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
And woo, toaster. Nice. That's not that. I mean, I know I'm not in the car, but like that definitely wasn't as bad as well when I threw my car off the road and into some trees and almost died.
Oh,
But yeah, it's still pretty
yeah. I didn't think I was going to die. I did feel like maybe I was going to hit something and I was going to fuck up my car
good. That
because
sucks. Yeah.
I was going 90 miles an hour.
You don't have a radio in these cars, huh?
What do you mean?
Like to talk, like nobody's talking to you,
No, 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 no.
so nobody's gonna like be like black flag, please pit.
Like you can, if you look to the right of the camera, like go back a bit, like the guy in the tower right there, you can see him waving a black flag.
Uh, what side of the screen is he on?
You missed it. You missed it. Go back. Look to the,
Okay.
yeah, that's the tower, that white thing there. You can see him waving the black flag.
He's waving at you.
Yep, because I went off.
Okay. But it only applies to you.
Yeah.
And then you just like you just slow down and let everybody pass you while you
Well,
like find the next car.
yeah, because when you go off, you don't know if like you picked up some grass and your car could catch it on fire.
Of course, yeah.
Like you don't
I
know
mean, it
if
makes sense.
you don't know if you broke something. So yeah, I was trying to like go fast enough to where I wasn't going to like get anybody's way, but also not fast enough where if my car was fucked, I was going to like hurt myself for the car.
Cool. Well, it seems like you haven't had any major incidents since then, so that's good.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
then
what's the
the other link I sent you was
fuck
being behind it
Teslas?
was being behind a Tesla.
I kind of remember this, but this is more. Is this just because it's a Tesla, or is it because this dude didn't know how to drive?
Both.
I mean, like, why
He
would
can't
you
because he
bring a Tesla to the track?
there were two of them this last time. They were both in beginner though.
Why?
But yeah, look at this. Like he can't brake and he can't turn. I get right on his ass in every single corner, and then as soon as we get to a straight, he's gone and I can't pass him. It was miserable.
I think it's more so him then, but I don't know anything about the track capabilities of these cars because nobody ever talks about that.
It's my understanding that they're pretty capable as long as you have good tires. Like if you're running on the stock Michelin's, it's not great because they're super heavy. They're like 6,000 pounds or some shit like that.
I feel like it would be kind of like driving like a 328 or like a Lexus IS with the four-cylinder turbo. Just sort of like a basic or an Audi A4 or like just a. I mean, I think
I don't know.
because that was
I
the
honestly
thing.
have
Like when we went on our cruises in my A4, like that was the one thing I noticed was like the guys in the S4s were fine, and I was keeping up except for on the straights, and my brakes like got really soft towards the end of those cruises. Nothing like the Golf. The Golf can't handle anything before its brakes just turn to pudding. Could probably handle autocross. I should get into autocross.
you should get into autocross.
That'd be cool. I'd autocross my Golf. Hopefully, I total it. Gap insurance, baby. This is miserable. That's a
Yeah,
Model 3 too?
that is a Model 3.
Yeah, wow. That guy just like watched one YouTube video and he was like, "Huh, my car is fast. I should go to the
I was so eager to let people pass me so that
they can
they could.
experience your pain."
Yeah,
God, dude. Another beautiful
like
day.
This Camaro couldn't pass him either. It was awful.
I love that Camaro. I
I
hate
think
Camaros, but I love that Camaro.
I think it's an SS 1LE.
Yeah, those are good ones. They're not Z28s. They're not ZL1s or whatever, but they're the 1LE is a good SS Camaro. I hate Camaros though. I hate GM.
Like look at him, he's right on his ass,
Ugh.
and then he's gone.
That's electric cars. I mean, that's just how they work.
All right, let's take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take a break. Let's get a drink, and then we come back. We're gonna do the automotive news. I'm gonna get a LaCroix. See you in a few. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, live, starring Steve Bussey and Adrian Barbero as Abraham Lincoln. Special guest star Mia Farrow. Welcome, Barack. What you got
I'm
there?
Bar-
You got
I
one of
got
those
a
Bluebell ice cream bars?
the thing.
Wow. Got a beer.
Clarence notices too.
Mm, sweet precious child.
I'm doing the thing. Nicole said she wanted to do this thing where we don't drink during the week, and then she started doing exactly that. So it doesn't pick up Claire. That's a shame.
That's
Doesn't
funny.
it doesn't know that Clarence is here.
Doesn't have pet detection. It just has people detection. That's fucking racist.
Pretty fucking racist.
Do you think like you saw that like Joe Biden played Despacito in front of those Mexican people, those Latino peoples?
You sent it to me, so
Do you think they liked it? Do you think like they weren't offended by it? Because like everybody who's up in arms about it is like just people who hate him or like I just think it was
oh,
like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't think it was like that offensive. I just think it was so like grandpa at
the
a
whites are at it
barbecue.
again.
Yeah, it was just like lame. I hate using that word, but it just felt like lame.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, a beer sounds good.
I don't drink enough to like give it up. This is the first beer I've had since the last podcast we did. It's just like I tried that keto diet thing for one day,
Yeah, fuck that.
and then I couldn't take a shit the next day. I was like, that's enough. Like ain't nothing but like eggs and meat and
Mm-hmm.
like spinach. And I was like,
Keto is
what? I was down like 5 pounds in like 2 days, and then I was like, I can't poop though, so I'm like, fuck this. Like, oh, get me some oatmeal.
keto is great if you hate your heart.
Yeah, that was the my dad said that he was like, look, you're gonna lose a lot of weight, but if you were to go to the doctor, he would be like, we have to put you on like cholesterol medicine,
Yeah.
and your blood pressure is gonna go through the roof. And like as we know with recent events, I would really prefer it if I could keep my blood pressure low. Um, but anyway, well, it was really cool for you to share that story about your track day. I think we need to talk about some of the most important things that have ever happened in the automotive world now during our automotive news segment. Something very important has happened, and it is the new Nissan Proto Z.
Oh, I was wondering if this was what you were talking about. This is not important. Nobody cares.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm in love again, Brandon, with another inanimate object. I love it so much.
It's a Nissan.
The Nissan Z, or as they say across the pond, the Nissan Lord Z, because of Power Rangers. Look, let's take a look. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
But since you don't care, I'd love to know why you don't care.
Because it's an Infiniti Q50 with a manual transmission.
But isn't that just what the current generation Z is?
The current Z is an Infiniti G37, which is a 10-year-old car.
Hmm.
Also, that front end treatment is a fucking ass.
I love it.
It looks so bad. It
I
looks
love it
so
so much.
bad.
I'll tell you why I love this front end treatment, Brandon. Today, car designers are too obsessed with giving vehicles aggressive personalities. This car doesn't have any of that bullshit. Cars don't have personalities, and
It's
when they
the
do have personalities, it's because they have they have a perceived personality that's assigned by its owner, and that's where inanimate objects get their personalities. Like, I'm a car guy, and I'll wax lyrical about the romance of driving through the country and driving on the racetrack and the danger and the sound of the exhaust and the feel of a manual transmission all day long. But when I look at like a Dodge Charger or like even a Mini Cooper, even the Miata is guilty of it. An angry face. It's stupid. It's like it all started with that Lamborghini, the Lamborghini Rebenton in like 2006. Then
that was like
every car had to have angry headlights and an angry grill. And this is it. It's over.
no, it's too much. It's too much. Like the it needs. So go back to that picture of it next to the S30. The reason the S30 works is because the front end doesn't go down to the ground. This looks like ass because it has that enormous fucking grill that goes to the ground and just
Well, it
takes up
has
too
to
much.
though. I mean, the front end has to go to the ground
Why?
because of pedestrian safety standards. If this hits a human being, that human being needs to be given the best chance to live. When this was being made new, I mean, that's just like a spear right there. I mean, that hits you, and A, it's got to be fast enough to do any damage. B, if that hits you, it's just like it came from the era of, oh, if you get hit by a car, you'll probably just, be dead. I mean, like, there's nothing we can do about that. We live in 2020 where you can buy a Lexus that when it senses a pedestrian collision, the hood will rise cantilever to its open position to catch the pedestrian in an effort to prevent them from dying. So we have these laws now that mean the front end has to go to the ground. It has to be
See, this is
blunt.
this is what we mean when we say there's too much government intervention. It makes our cars look like ass.
Yes, government intervention makes your cars look like ass, and
We need smaller government so that we can just make brand new Nissan S30s again.
we need like people to understand that if you get hit by a car, you're probably just gonna die.
Yeah, like you should just die. You should just give up. Just
You
roll
should
over
just, yeah,
dead.
just roll over dead. Like, if you get hit by a car, and you're dead, it's because you got hit by a car.
But anyway, I recognize what you're saying, James, and I do agree. I just think that the front end is a completely uninteresting, and that grill is too big.
I agree with you when you say that it is uninteresting and the grill is too big. However, I think those are good things. I am pro big grill. I am a big grill apologist. I am pro big grill. I think bigger grills. I like that the headlights are gender neutral. um,
I'm not laughing. I'm trying this HEB black cherry sparkling water,
Ew, is it good?
and it tastes like medicine.
That's
It,
funny.
you know what? It
Store bought
tastes
sparkling water is always a gamble.
it tastes like Robitussin, and I like Robitussin.
Mm, that's crazy. I like Robitussin too. I like medicine that, like, we've had this conversation I think before. I like when you can feel
This
medicine
tastes
working.
exactly like Robitussin.
You can taste the medicine working. Like, that's why I like Robitussin.
Yes,
When you taste it, you're just like, oh, this is gonna do something. Like,
this is
this is serious shit.
yeah. This is gonna fix me up good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna feel
Oh
good
my
now.
god,
Like Dayquil.
dude, this tastes like Robitussin.
That's fucking great. I want some Robitussin. I can't get any pot, so I'm gonna
Let's
fucking
go.
like
Let's go
Robo trip.
road trip.
I took my mom to the pharmacy the other day, and she was like, "You have to give them my driver's license because I'm buying a narcotic." I'm like, "What are you buying?" And she's like, "Tramadol." I'm like, "Tramadol?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's a very powerful painkiller." I'm like, "Well, is it? It's a narcotic, so is it addictive?" And she's like, "Yes, I've been taking it for 10 years." I'm like, oh my god, can I have some? I still haven't got any. But I'm
You can
getting like
throw
some
that.
very powerful CBD gummies sent to me in the mail. I really do like CBD a lot. I've been taking a shitload of CBD oil.
Ooh, I think
Anyway,
I might. Yeah, I think speaking of getting yourself fucked up and looking like a Nissan Z, I think I might have plague.
yeah,
Yeah.
You starting to feel it?
I'm starting to feel it. Like right now, I've got like a stomach pang, and I'm just like, oh, I haven't had anything spicy. My throat's kind of sore.
Have you called your doctor
I had a self swab test done yesterday morning.
and you are waiting results?
Yeah, it
All
was
right.
a drive through to CVS, so it takes a couple days.
Well, man, I hope you don't have plague, but if you do, you're in pretty good shape. You're pretty healthy. I think you'll be able to kick it.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Has is Nicole still going to work? I don't know if I need
Yes.
to ask that on the podcast, but like she should probably not go to work.
We all agree on that point, but if she doesn't go to work, she doesn't get paid, and she needs to get paid. So,
Well, that's late stage capitalism for you. It seems like nobody
yeah.
cares about, nobody cares about protecting people anymore.
Um, yeah, it's super fucked up. Like her boss is very wary of plague, but at the same time is also super adamant that if you are not ass in seat, you don't get paid.
That's fair. I mean, I agree that that is fair because when you're getting paid, you are getting money to, you know, go to your healthcare provider and get health insurance. I know she's a new hire. I know this is a recent job for Nicole, but like there's benefits at this job after some point, I'm assuming.
Yeah, November 1st.
I mean, and then if she like gets a positive coronavirus test, did she take the test?
No, but I mean, she doesn't have to. If I have it, she hasn't.
Right. Then she'll be told that she can't come to work. I mean, if an employer told me that like just come to work until you're like showing coronavirus symptoms, I mean, I would quit. I mean, I'm sorry. I know money is money, but I would quit. This coronavirus thing is extremely serious, and like if employers aren't going to take it seriously, if they're not going to meet us in the middle, then you've got to like just be like, you don't have my best interests at heart. I understand that you run a company and you need to make a profit. I don't want to die so I can sell carpet or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mean, but like if you've got it, you're just gonna infect other people.
Yeah, that's the social irresponsibility that is just driving me fucking crazy. Is like people in Oklahoma, we have the fifth highest increase in COVID cases per 100,000 people as of yesterday,
Yeah.
and we were up 972 new cases in Oklahoma, and they're saying it's just because all the colleges reopened. It's a fucked up situation. I know it doesn't really have anything to do with cars, and it seems like it's not really slowing down the automotive industry. General Motors just announced, they're gonna stick their penis in the butt of that lying electric car company.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
Nicola.
Nichols.
Ricola.
Ricola, more like Ricola bunch of caras. Fix those Silverado tailgates, Mari Barra. Anyway, um, so a bunch of people now are coming out and saying, here, I'll share my screen for this. We
I'm
don't need
glad
to talk
people.
anymore about the Z. The last thing I wanted to say is, yay, it's a manual, and it's cool that the Supra is going to compete with the Z, but we'll see. That Z is clearly not a production model. It doesn't even have reflectors on the front end. Um,
Yeah.
but it's close. It'll probably look exactly like that with some stickers on the front and different headlights, but
I mean, have
that's
you
it.
seen? You remember the 10th Gen Civic prototype?
Yeah, it had that weird like Japanese bathroom grill. It reminded me of like something you'd see in like a Japanese airport bathroom. Let's share my screen.
Yeah, just Google 10th Gen Civic concept. It is a 10th Gen Civic with big ass wheels and some really cool fog lights that I kind of wish made it to production.
That looks like the 10th Gen Civic to me.
Yep. I mean, because it totally is, except for that cool ass bumper that I wish we got and those big ass wheels.
Did they get that in foreign markets?
Nobody got that grill. Like the Civic is the Civic worldwide. The coupe is actually North America only. They only sell the coupe in North America.
Which is like the dumbest thing Honda ever did because we don't buy coupes. We buy coupes if they are like Aston Martins or like high-end Benz AMGs, but that's it. We do not buy like daily driver coupes anymore
What
at
can you
all.
can you click on the Type R coupe concept above it? I want to see what that looks like. Hilarious.
That's rendered. Yeah. That's what they thought it was going to look like. When was this article?
I mean, that's pretty close.
2016.
That's pretty close.
I mean, it's based on a prototype. I mean, renders are always pretty
No,
close. That's
that's
the
the
car.
camouflage. Yeah,
That's your
pretty
car.
fucking. Yeah, it's pretty fucking close. They got pretty good. They did pretty well.
Did pretty good there, bud.
That's the car.
Anyway, we'll talk about Nikola real quick. So people are coming out and saying Nikola is a
Nicola.
Nikola. I have a sore throat. You're gonna need a Nikola if you have the plague. Um, lol. Coronavirus isn't funny. Get tested, y'all. Stay safe. Let's yeet this virus. Um, they got so these analysts are coming out apparently and saying that they're.
My test is inconclusive. It leaked in transit.
Are you fucking kidding me? They just fucked it up. They didn't leak. Brandon, good news. Tomorrow you get to take another coronavirus test. Sorry, bud.
Oh God! It sucks so much.
It's not that bad. It's better than a strep test. I have the gag reflex of a 13-year-old girl, though. I mean, like, I can't do strep tests. But dude, there are football players out there getting like fucking coronavirus tests twice a day. Wendy's mother's husband, when he goes to the hospital, he has to have a coronavirus test twice a day. He's been doing that for a week. You'll be fine. You probably don't even have the plague. A bunch of people, let's see, Nikola called. There's a report that says that Nikola is a fraud and that General Motors is being played by these people. See, it says Trevor Milton will land behind bars for securities fraud. Jalopnik published this thing, and I know Jalopnik is like a trash website now, but they published this thing that said Trevor Milton came out and was like, haters gonna hate, basically, but he did that in like 5 paragraphs or some shit. General Motors apparently has his back, so I don't know if it's fraud or not, but this dude like really wishes he was fucking Elon Musk. He either wishes he was Elon Musk or he wishes he was fucking Elon Musk. But it's surging now. I don't know. This is shit I don't know how to fucking like talk about because I can't talk about like this numbers or finance shit. I'm like too stupid. Look at this, a graph. You love graphs.
I love graphs.
Yeah, I don't really fucking know what's going on. Anyway, Nikola, I have a feeling that the GM just really wants to beat Tesla. That's why they're coming out with the fucking crab mode. Have you seen the crab mode on the fucking Hummer EV?
No. When are you gonna get a ad blocker?
I have it.
No. No, you don't.
I installed crab blocker.
Which one?
God damn it.
Which ad blocker did you install?
Ad blocker. Right
What
here,
is
ad blocker enabled on
Fuck
this
that.
side.
Fuck that. Uninstall this.
Okay.
Fuck is this? Right click the icon. Move. Trash ass thing.
It is ad blocker. You said install ad blocker.
And ad blocker.
What's a good ad blocker? Well, okay, tell you what. You figure out what a good ad blocker is. I'm going to talk about crab block. See,
Crab
the
blocker.
GM's what? Crab
Crab
blocker. GMC has come out with this. A little video to promote its concept EV, the Hummer EV. It has a crab walk mode. Basically, what this means is it can kind of crab walk sideways. It can invert both tires and then just sort of scoot sideways. So what this tells me is that the Hummer is going to be the size of a small house, and it literally needs its wheels to move the way wheels shouldn't move in order for it to fit into any parking spot. which is kind of cool. GMC tweeted, "Real revolutionaries forge their own direction," and then a picture of a graphic designed crab logo. Um, cool. I think
Nice to
it's
hear it.
interesting, but I don't know if I would necessarily associate revolutionaries with crabs, um, unless we're talking about undersea dwelling entrepreneur Mr. Krabs.
Or hitting their weak points for massive damage.
What?
Type in large enemy crab.
Large enemy crab.
Yeah.
I can tell this is going to be something that I'm not cool enough for. Actually based on actual battles that took place in Japan. So anyway, here's this large enemy crab. Oh my god, I miss when video games were just like wrong and like people would just god, I miss E3 presentations where like Xbox execs would like rail cocaine off of an unconscious stripper and then go out on stage and be like, Halo 4 and oh my god, what a game. Like the guns and it just look, this is going to feature the greatest amount of graphics that you've ever seen, and it's just shit like doesn't make any sense. The last good one was the Fallout 76 reveal, where what's his name, Trevor Tramber, whatever his fucking name is, comes out on stage and just lies, just straight up spews filth out of his face hole, and just like it's all wrong. And that was the last time like the gaming industry was just like, the jig's up. We can't lie to these fucking people anymore. Anyway, crab walk on a car that nobody cares about. Cool. What else is in the automotive news? The Volkswagen ID3 is coming out. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Volkswagen has electric cars. They're a little late to the party. You know, it's funny that you really think that like if Volkswagen was gonna make up for Dieselgate, they would have come out with an electric car that sucked like 5 years ago.
They did. It's called the e-Golf.
Oh yeah, I sold one of those.
Did you? How was it?
I liked it. The range was just abysmal, but it drove fine.
It's a compliance EV, so
So we didn't have a fast charger at that dealership, so we had to plug it into the wall every night, and it only got like 14% charge in 12 hours. So
that
we
is
like plugged it
incredible.
into like a 3-prong outlet that you find in your house, like a 20 volt or whatever it's called.
That is incredibly bad.
Yeah, you had to buy that converter like you buy for every normal car, but that dealership was like just old enough not to have an electric car hookup installed.
What'd they do
And
for the e-trons?
well, it was a Volkswagen dealership. The
Oh,
Audi dealership had one. They had one installed. Like somebody from the city came and installed it. I wonder how that Audi dealership is doing. Like everybody says they're selling a shitload of cars because 0% interest is still a real thing. I just made
oh,
my
me and my savings account are well aware that 0% interest is still a thing.
yeah, it's actually kind of nice. Um,
I wouldn't know, but
I mean, I just paid my first golf payment, and when I said I called them to since I still haven't been able to gain employment, I called them to ask if I could get an extension on making my payments, and they were just like, "Well, we gave you 3 months." Because that was the deal. I got 0% APR financing on my golf, but I got like 3 months until I had to make my first payment. 3 months are up on the 14th or 15th this month, and when I called them, they were just like, "Well, we gave you 3 months." I was like, "Oh, I know, but I still haven't gotten a job, coronavirus, blah blah blah." And they were like, "Well, we can basically just charge you no late fees, and then your payments will compound." And I was like, so if I don't make another payment in 3 months, when I make that payment, I have to make 3 months worth of payments at that time. They were like, yeah, absolutely.
Is it going to be late, like on your credit report?
I didn't ask,
You
but they're
probably
like, we
ask
won't
that.
charge you late fees. That's
You
all
should
they said.
ask if it's going to be late.
Yeah. Well, I paid it because it's not a big payment. I still have enough of my savings to make a couple of payments before I finally give up and just get a customer service job. So at this point, like the only people that are hiring are like Airbnb is hiring for like customer support gigs.
Yeah.
That's the only people that are fucking hiring right now. Sucks. So glad I spent $15,000 on a UX design boot camp just so the economy can fail. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk about that's not really car related, but kind of transportation related. Yesterday, I went to, I don't know if you heard about this, because I don't know if you get on LinkedIn very much, Brandon,
You know?
but you know, you should. You should
Should
network.
I?
You should really expand your network.
Mm,
Networking's important, especially if you have to get a new job or bury a body in the desert of Las Vegas. I mean, either
that's
way, you
true.
need to know who you can trust. I went
Yeah, yeah.
to the
Like,
Amazon.com career fair.
ooh,
Yeah.
how was that?
It was better than I thought. I thought it was just going to be capitalist dribble, like just sort of like motivational speaking, obviously, but there's a little bit of that. And then there was like, um, we the CEO of ZipRecruiter gave a like talk about how to do an interview well, and like most of the shit I know because I've interviewed for jobs before and I went to college, and like I know how to not make a complete fool of myself in an interview. But one thing I heard that was really crazy, um, and I'm not sure if it was a lie or not, and if it wasn't a lie, I feel like I'm stupid for not knowing this, but 75% of all resumes you submit are being read by like robots.
Yeah,
They're not even being read by human beings. So if your
right,
resume doesn't scan through the algorithm, you just don't get a call. You just get
right,
nothing.
right. That's why it's very important to have. Don't use a weird font. Um, Make sure you have keywords in your resume. I knew all this.
I have the keywords.
Well, I mean,
And I
you don't want to like have a block. It's just like here's some words, like it's a fucking AOL page.
no,
You
no,
want
no,
to
yeah,
have
I know what you mean. I mean, like I have like it says I delivered an excellent ownership experience through my sales entrepreneurship position at the following dealerships. I am motivated by uh
money.
my, basically I'm motivated by assisting clients and designing well-made quality products. I have like an introductory paragraph. I'll send you my resume after this. I want to put it up here. Maybe I do actually. Maybe that's how I get my job. Somebody listened to this godforsaken podcast and was like, the handsome guy that looks like a soy boy. We should hire him. We should
Carl
maximize our
says
soy.
he is on a phone call with his brother and cannot be on our podcast because we suck.
It's fine. Could be our guest next time. You know who I thought would be a good guest? Victor Godfroy.
Um, no. What does he know
No.
about cars?
Well, he does like cars.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
he likes cars in a like literary sense.
Interesting, interesting.
He likes
Does
road
Victor?
trips.
Okay, then yeah. Also, does Victor Godfrey hate me?
No, he's just literally the most irresponsible person on the planet. Like, if you want to get a hold of him, you have to call him 5 times for one response, and he's never going to call you.
But no, okay. I just always have gotten this vibe that he like kind of dislikes me.
He doesn't
Like,
dislike you. He literally just is apathetic
okay,
towards
great.
everything.
Okay,
Like,
great.
if you want Victor to really like you have to get unbelievably drunk with him and talk about killing yourself. Like, that
I mean,
is
I
when
didn't.
Victor and I became like soulmates. Was when we like talked about like our suicidal thoughts and drank and listened to Towns Van Zant and watched Batman Forever together when the air conditioning went out and his roommate was in Korea.
That sounds
then
extremely
you,
specific.
you got to have like one of those bonding events with him. Even then, though, he'll like he's like that type of guy that like when he's ready to like move on and go get chicken wings, if you're like in the other end of the room, it's like too much trouble for him to tell you that he's leaving the house to go get chicken wings.
I'm just gonna keep hanging out with Blake then, because the way to be Blake's friend is say, "Hey Blake, you want to do this thing? I'll buy beer." And he'd be like, "Oh, that sounds great. Yeah,
Yeah, come on over.
yeah."
I
But
miss him so much.
Blake is super fucking great because I totally understand Blake because he just wants to do things and he wants to do things with people who say yes and don't make it complicated. And that's great.
Yes. That's yeah, I wish I had like that was one thing I learned. Because like all my friends in high school were like, well, okay, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna start at this time and at this place. You're gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring this. We're gonna show up and blah blah blah. Like Blake hates that. It's just like call and be like, hey, you want to chill? Yes or no. Okay, boom. Or even maybe he doesn't answer if he's busy. Like there
Yeah,
you go.
I have learned that the more planning I do, the less interested Blake and Brooklyn are.
Yes.
So I don't do any planning beyond where are we going, how many cars are we taking.
Yes, absolutely. It's like that thing where you tried to reserve a campsite for his birthday, and I was like, yeah, it'll never happen. It's in
Yeah,
more than 3 months. I promise
yeah,
you it's not going to happen.
yeah. I mean, it didn't, and then it didn't happen because the world ended. But
Oh, yeah. Well, now, did he invite you to his Halloween thing?
what Halloween thing?
He said he was having like an Airbnb, but he's like only inviting like a very small amount of people. He's like going to Canyon Lake or something.
Yes, yes, we were invited to that.
Yeah. And he was like, we're only
Yes.
inviting like a few people. He's like, I want to invite you. I'm like, man, I just can't go. I mean, I can't leave Oklahoma for the rest of the year. I'm here
Yeah.
till January at the least. Unless by some miracle I wake up to a job in a week and they're like, here's your $5,000 signing bonus, I'm here for a long ass time.
Can't believe we get another fucking plague test.
You know what?
I can't believe I have to get another fucking plague test.
Yeah, go to a doctor. Sorry, man, but like, just go. Don't do that. Like, take it home, like quick and easy bullshit. Just like go to a
No,
doctor.
I mean it was a CVS drive-through, but
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, do that again then. I mean, like,
no, because it was it was like self-administered and like it was so clear that like she didn't give a shit and
right.
like I could feel how flimsy the bottle was. Like it didn't screw on, you just push it back on. So
Yeah. If you think you're ready to witness a capitalist society's response to coronavirus, wait till you see when everything's government funded. Boy. Yeah, this fucking sucks. I'm so fucking sick of this. I like was driving around today and I'm like, God, I just miss calling my friends and being like, let's chill, which is like a dumb teenager problem. Like a fully grown man. I'm like, I was just like, I need a job. What the fuck am I thinking?
where's my job?
I need a job. I can't believe I was born a white man. I don't. Where's my job?
I was promised a
Hand me my
job.
job.
I just want to go to the job tree and get my job.
Yeah, so when I go to the job tree where jobs grow on jobby trees, and I pick my job and nom, 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 nom. If I don't become a UX designer by fucking January, I'm going to be an electrician or some shit because this fucking is like, oh my god, it's taking forever. Mm. I've applied to 36 jobs.
That doesn't sound like very many.
Really? Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
need to apply for more then. I've never applied to that many jobs before in my life, so I'm like, what's too much? But yeah, 36 jobs and like not a single well, okay, rejections count as responses, right?
Yeah.
A lot of rejections. Had someone write me a letter.
Oh.
They're like, "Hey James, I graduated GA. Good luck in your pursuit. Unfortunately, for this position, we're only looking for people with 5 years experience plus. But thanks for reaching out. Just don't give up. If another position comes up at the company, keep your eyes out." Like, okay, well, thanks.
Yeah.
And like we connected on LinkedIn. He didn't really have anything to say. But
Other
anyway,
than like, I got it. I got it. Sucks to be you. Good
it
luck.
sucks right now. I mean, like I was looking at, you know, I was looking at all the people I graduated with, and I was like, where are they working? And like, so far, nobody really has a job. And like, the most talented designer in our cohort went back to doing his old job as a GIS analyst.
Oh.
So I mean, he was the like by far and away best graphic designer in the entire cohort. I mean, like he was so good.
I wonder if
Um,
that lady we know got laid off from Dell.
I wonder that too. Um,
They
I
laid
was
off a
like,
lot of people.
I
Okay,
was told.
let's cut the podcast and just hang out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for vroom, 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 beep, beep. Godspeed, gamers. Gamers, rise up. That's good.